I don't drink soda.
Clack. That was a good gift. Thanks for that.
Sure.
Comes in handy. It's been a month since I've said blop, 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 blop.
How's
engaged, blop, blop.
How does it feel to not say that all the time anymore?
It is nice. I feel like it was probably sneaking its way into my vernacular. You know, and I was saying blop at like unnecessary times.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, like I'm going to get pokey, and they're like, do you want, Bonita flakes on here? And I go, yeah, of course. They start shaking them, and I go, blop, 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 blop. Or I'm at Olive Garden, and they say, just say when.
Yeah, that could be an embarrassing mistake.
And I wait, and then I say blop. They keep going. It's too much cheese. It ruined my meal.
That could be costly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for them and for me. So do we have all the lights on?
I think we have all the lights on.
Okay.
Computer, are there new lights that maybe we weren't told about?
Hold on. We got a light. We got a light here. We got a light there. We got this light, that light, this light, these lights. No, I think we're good. But I think maybe I'll do my flashlight on my phone.
Yeah, that might help.
And just kind of set that up here.
Might help, or at least, have it on standby.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think we're good. All the lights are on. Free Candy, do you have your light on?
Free Candy, can you hear us, bud?
Free Candy, do you have your light on? Oh, fuck. We can't hear him. I totally forgot. I always forget that part. Okay. Jerry? You ready? Okay, we're good?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
Okay, computer, countdown from 12.
Okay, here's countdown. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Yo, thank you for tuning into the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is Awesome Ty.
Computer's here. Smart Plug is here. Free Candy's up in the Great White North. William Waffles is in Oregon. That's it. Right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much
That's all of them. That's all the hosts. And you guys are here with us. So thank you for that.
Thank you for joining us.
It's very kind of you. You guys are, I always say this about...
Yeah. I said some reprehensible things last week to our audience, and I just want to apologize. Last week I was refusing to apologize to you, and I want to apologize for refusing to apologize. I probably shouldn't have been so harsh. I mean, obviously you guys are doing us a favor by tuning in.
Do you want to apologize for what you said, or just apologize for not apologizing?
I just want to, I'm apologizing. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
I apologize.
I like that.
Now, that's not to say that I didn't have some good points about how they do very little to contribute to the show, and that they should just, when we have like a technical difficulty, they should just run with it and not judge us and not constantly judge us and mock us like I'm assuming they're doing.
Yeah, and like, for example, I've been having either something going on with my microphone or with my channel.
And they're probably at home like, oh, look at his microphone and his channel.
Yeah, have you played back any of last week's episode?
I watched some of it.
I sound like a little like muffly, and there's just something, the tone of my voice.
We're still working the kinks out of a new system over here, and you guys need to bear with us.
So
bear with us and stop being so fucking judgmental, will you?
Wait, hold on. I'm getting upset. You're flipping on him again.
Shit.
Are you apologizing?
Well, I did apologize.
Okay, you did. You did. So now that we got the apology out of the way, thank you for, I was going to say, people that watch the show, whether it be a weekly thing or they listen on their commute to the store, or maybe they just stumbled across it on accident because we tagged it with something they were looking for. We tagged all the episodes with like movies. We'll be like the Meg 2 full movie, Harry Potter, and what's the first one?
Is it Harry Potter and
the Sorcerer's
the Wizarding World?
The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the movie, full movie. So we tag all that. People click on it. They think they're going to watch the movie. They end up watching us.
Suckers, we tricked you. That's called bait and switch, baby.
But you're all nice. So you guys tuned in. You're watching the show, and that's nice. I think that's nice.
Yeah.
I say that a lot, and I feel like I don't say it enough on the show. Also, Jerry, for people that have been here for the back and forth with Jerry, somebody has been coming into the studio and stealing things. And the only one that has a key besides us is Jerry. So,
because it definitely wasn't me.
We haven't really talked about this, but after the show, I want to get together.
I haven't been stealing.
Jerry.
I said.
Well, no, I didn't. I wasn't saying
Yeah,
you were stealing.
Definitely Jerry.
I said Jerry was stealing, but you haven't been stealing, right?
No,
because you got pretty defensive for no reason. I said that.
Well, you're just making all these wild accusations
against Jerry.
Yeah, exactly, against Jerry.
Well, we'll talk after the show, but I just wanted to put that out there that, the stealing, we know about it. We know that it's Jerry. Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely Jerry.
And, we just want to let you guys know that if you see things that are missing from the table, we usually have a gun here. The gun's gone.
Where's the gun?
The gun's gone, and that's probably one of the most dangerous things to go missing. But things have been getting stolen, like the gun. My lighter was missing. I had a little adapter that was missing.
It's only a matter of time before a smart plug and computer are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they're inanimate objects that could just be easily stolen.
Yeah, to an extent they are. But also to a different and greater extent, they're, alive and hosts of the show. Because if they're just inanimate objects, then that kind of ruins their gimmick.
Well, I'm not saying that they're willingly kidnapped. I could see computer protesting a little bit. Smart plug. He can't really speak because we disabled his ability to communicate, so he's not really going to be able to shout or put up much of a fight there.
No, but they might be on their own soon because. There's something that we want to talk about today, which is, very important. People don't talk about it enough.
Not at all.
I don't think. It is very cool and Marvel-esque. So I think that it's good. It's better now than ever. And that is the Doomsday Clock.
Yep.
Which is a actual physical clock.
Is it?
That mysteriously changes time.
See, I think it's a figurative clock.
No, it's a clock.
Do they have a physical clock?
Yeah, it's located in the University of Chicago, is what it said when I looked it up.
Okay.
Here, let me see. I was trying to Google where it came from. The Doomsday Clock will be located, as of February 2019, the Doomsday Clock will be located in the Buellton offices at the University of Chicago on the 3rd floor. So there's a physical clock. It's a magical clock. It changes time depending on how dangerous the world is.
How dangerous the world is. It can vary all the way from, what did they say, the farthest it's been from Doomsday? 17 minutes?
Yeah, 17 minutes.
That was in 1991 when America and Russia made some sort of nuclear arms treaty. And the closest it's been is where it's at currently, which is 90 seconds to midnight. Midnight is essentially Armageddon.
Yeah.
And
midnight, the world's over.
And this is determined by a panel of scientists who we don't have a whole lot of information about these scientists individually or what the criteria is for this. It's kind of... we're just kind of taking them at their word, essentially. And
we don't know where they're from. It's very vague. We just know where the clock is now.
Yeah.
But this also is specifically about nuclear war.
It's not though,
right?
No, it's just.
Isn't there a nuclear element?
Yeah, well, it's partially a nuclear war, but also climate change affects the Doomsday Clock.
Okay.
I'm assuming COVID probably did.
Yeah.
The pandemic, there's various world problems that seem to be impacting this Doomsday Clock.
So these magical beings that are from another realm, and they have the ability to come through the dimension,
right through,
change the clock,
a portal.
So they see what's going to happen with us, depending, because the future is always changing. You're doing things; it's a butterfly effect. It changes everything. So when things happen, they go, "Oh, future's different." They put their little fingers in
through the portal.
They change the dial on the clock.
They change the clock. They change it. Obviously they've been consistently moving it forward since 1991. But I mean, there's always hope that they're going to move it back this time. I don't think they're going to, but
yeah. But it was updated last
year. Yeah, it was moved from 100 seconds to 90 seconds. Now, traditionally, it's been adjusted by through minutes at a time. But I think these scientists kind of figured out that they were running out of time for this to happen according to their clock. So this past year it was only adjusted 10 seconds.
Yeah,
and you have to wonder what's going to happen when this clock no longer links up with Armageddon, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, when it gets down to 0, then I'm waiting for
Armageddon. Do you suspect that when it gets to 0, they have, they're not going to be proven wrong. They're going to blow the world up.
Like on purpose?
Well, I mean, if this is
America
or the world's top scientists deciding this, like they could definitely have some sort of trick up their sleeve to where
they could. They know all the like little secret things that we don't. They're scientists. But yeah, I could definitely see that happening. And isn't like a mad scientist a whole cliche that we're forgetting about?
Oh
here?
yeah, we have no idea whether any of these scientists are mad. This is supposedly called the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, which is some sort of panel of scientists.
Yeah.
We couldn't really find much.
I imagine there's thousands of scientists in this panel, and probably 1 out of every 100 scientists is mad.
Yeah, or at least going mad, or potentially could be considered mad down the line.
They work with Mercury all the time.
Current trajectory. So who's to say, like, they don't, I mean, if cartoons and movies have taught us anything, it's that many scientists are plotting, they're brooding, and it's just a matter of time before they unleash some sort of sinister weapon.
They're bad. They're isolated in their labs. And even if they try to do good, they end up somehow destroying something and doing bad.
We saw what these in Big Trouble in Big China, we saw what these scientists can unleash on the world through the pandemic. That was supposedly scientists working on something in Wuhan, and they unleashed a whole pandemic. Who's to say that?
Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much been established now that it was most likely a leak from a Wuhan laboratory.
Well, let's not say it again.
So I'm just saying. Now,
these are scientists.
Do you suppose that there are any Chinese scientists on this panel?
Well,
are we taking input from other countries, or is this strictly an American panel? I would like to
see. That's the thing. When we tried to look it up, we couldn't really find very much information.
Scrubbed from the internet, you might even say.
We found about the bulletin of the atomic scientists.
Bulletin of the atomic scientists.
The bulletin of atomic scientists, but it doesn't really say where they're from or where it was started. The guy's name did sound weird, goofy name. It was like Yasmif Nafanar or something like that.
Yeah, sound off below if you want to, Google all this and correct us. We'd love to know if we were right about this, but
let's see, what's the guy's name?
And what concerns me?
Martel Langsdorff created the iconic Doomsday Clock.
It concerns me that it said this clock is located on like floor 3 of some building. Like, if this clock is so serious, like, wouldn't the Doomsday Clock have its own facilities, have its own building?
I think that's where the portal is, and the portal's probably always changing and moving around.
But still, I mean, I don't feel comfortable having that on the 3rd floor of some building. Like, what else is in that building? The Sears corporate office, potentially, or just, I mean, some sort of law firm? I mean, we just don't know. I figure this should be like a Area 51 type of containment zone.
Locked down. Especially if it's some mythical clock, You can't just have that all loosey-goosey with a bunch of kids around.
Yeah, so Martel Langsdorff this was created by a woman, was it?
Yeah, and she was born in Schaumburg, Illinois, close to Chicago. Some of the most
brilliant scientists are also women.
Mm-hmm.
It's not shocking to me that it's a woman.
Albert Einstein, woman. Amelia Earhart, woman.
Yeah, so I mean,
April from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, woman.
Was she a scientist though? I think she was a news reporter.
She's a meteorologist.
Was she?
No. But she was born in Illinois. Born in M.O. in Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri. And then she died in Illinois.
Mm-hmm. And then that's where the Doomsday Clock is located now. So this is a very Chicagoan type.
It's like a Midwestern,
thing. It's
yeah.
their thing. They don't have beaches
now,
or San Francisco.
If they were to take the Doomsday Clock on tour, I think it would do very well, you know, like in local museums, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of probably people that would pay, you know, $5 to go check out the Doomsday Clock at their local library theater, you know what I mean?
Or like college amphitheaters.
It'd make a good field trip for school children.
Yeah. I think that they should tour it to theaters, and they should have the initial, because also when these beings from this other dimension, when they change the clock, this happens in like an isolated area, and then the scientists observe it, and then they change the figurative clock,
right? Yeah.
Which is a representation of what the aliens did. So they can just recreate it over and over again, keep it a secret, so that way they could tour. Nobody knows.
Yeah, you know,
they lock their phones in a yonder
school
bag.
Assemblies.
Yeah, do some assemblies, get paid fat from the school district.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's only going to be the rich school districts that can afford the Doomsday Clock presentation.
Did you get the guy with the... He was like a short guy with... Like one leg was longer than the other, and he wore like a Spice Girls shoe? Did he come to your school and do an assembly?
I don't think so. We got like professional yo-yoers, and we got...
That's pretty cool.
That's really the only one that stood out, and that's it because it's the only cool one probably, but...
Yeah, I remember that. The little guy with the long short leg. It was pretty cool.
Was that his whole deal? Is just like, oh, look at me, one of my legs is shorter than the other. This could be you if you don't stay away from drugs.
Yeah. I think it was something like if I could do it, then so can you. Like, look at how fucked up my life is.
Oh, yeah.
And I made something of myself.
I have a disadvantage and you don't, so you have no excuses for failure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And he had one shoe was like a platform shoe, like this tall, and then the other shoe was just a regular soled shoe. And then he made a Spice Girls reference, which was at the time. This
is like 96, 97? Okay.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm in here in my Spice Girl shoe. And then everybody laughed.
Oh, because they wore platform shoes.
Yeah, they wore platforms.
Okay. Yeah, I get it now.
So
did everybody really laugh?
Yeah. We were pretty easy to win over. We were like 10 or 9, something like that. I want to say I was in elementary school or middle school. I might have been 11. And that guy probably got bank for doing that.
Yeah.
Think about how much money he made.
They're cashing out. They're going from town to town, and they're leaving with just bags, burlap sacks filled with cash money, and they're making out like a literal bandit.
Yeah, they should tour the Doomsday Clock. They should make money. And if they do, then we had this idea, so we get a payout.
Absolutely. And also, if you want to book either of us or both of us for your school assembly, like we're willing to put together a presentation.
We'll do professional yo-yoing.
We'll do yo-yoing. We'll shame your children. We'll be like, hey, if we can host a podcast, like, what's your excuse to not host a podcast someday? I mean, really, whatever you're trying to get across, we will hammer it home for these children.
But it's going to cost you.
Oh, yeah. Handsome. You're going to have to pay handsomely.
But the school district pays, and they get a bunch of grants.
Yeah, and the taxpayers and all that. I mean, at the end of the day, like, who's to say where the money really came from?
So, being that right now the Doomsday Clock hasn't changed. It's about to change in a couple days.
Yeah.
And at the time of this episode's release, it just changed. Like today or yesterday or whatever.
Yeah, so we should know whether it's... Well, obviously we're all hoping that they moved it back, but based on the past year, you got the whole Ukraine-Russia thing, and now we've got Israel-Hamas. It's very possible that they've moved it forward a few seconds, a few ticks, if you will.
I think it's been pretty tense.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see at the time that you're watching this, you might not even be able to watch this. It might be the end of the world.
Doomsday, yeah.
Might be on zero, doomsday, there's bombs, there's
These scientists
nuclear
blow the world
fallout,
up. They're like, yeah,
global warming.
yep, we told you this was going to happen, and they hit a button and just...
And it global warms. It probably wouldn't be an explosion.
I mean, an explosion would be very warm, right? Like, that would essentially be global...
an intense warming.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, global warming. And hopefully that's not the case. Maybe it's longer. Maybe the time went up. Maybe we're down to 10 seconds till midnight.
Yeah, I just don't trust this whole system because, again, for years they were jumping between, 5 minutes and 4 minutes, like every year, just fluctuating freely. And then all of a sudden, again, they realized that they were running out of time. So now it's going to,
well, maybe global warming is the big multiplier. Because they're the bulletin of atomic scientists, so they're probably really big on global warming, and they're like the kind of people that are like, stop crushing your styrofoam cups into the atmosphere; it rips a hole in it, or whatever.
Yeah, that could be.
And they're like, that's the most serious one because that's the one where like we're almost at the turning point.
I mean,
where we
Marta Langsdorff looks like she would be on some hippie shit, like some conservationist, save the planet type stuff. Not if there's anything wrong with that. We definitely should save the planet, but in the spirit of the Doomsday Clock, you're gonna need to get your affairs in order, right? Or at least we all should, because again, this can change at any moment. So you're gonna want to make sure you have life insurance. Although if it's the end of the world for everybody, there's no point in really getting life insurance.
No, I say that
you might even cancel your policy now.
Cancel your policy, get your premium back, and then you change everything into gold or precious metals that you can trade to people, because that's really all that's going to be worth anything.
Yeah.
Or maybe canned food.
Really, you should just get rid of all your earthly possessions because, it's Armageddon, all right? You're not going to just sneak out of here unscathed, all right? We're all going down.
You're not going to need a spatula.
You can't take it with you, as they say.
You can't. So get rid of all that stuff.
In the meantime, you're going to want to accomplish everything you can. So we thought that we would come together today to teach you how to make is it called a bucket list?
A bucket list, yeah.
A bucket list. Now, I'm completely foreign to this whole concept.
Now, bucket list, I believe, was made popular by the film The Bucket List.
By Morgan Freeman.
I don't think Morgan Freeman made the movie.
I think he did. I think he wrote it and directed it. And, it was his concept initially. It was
a complete Morgan Freeman project.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Morgan Freeman's project piece, The Bucket List, which is about... death is coming. It's creeping up on you.
Do you think Morgan Freeman is part of this panel of scientists and therefore he had some inside information, so he had the foresight to make this bucket list movie and kind of give us all the idea?
Maybe, because it was back in the 90s.
I'm pretty sure Morgan Freeman has at least played a scientist at some point throughout his illustrious career. He probably picked a whole lot up. He's kind of a method actor, right? I'm assuming, maybe not. So he probably knows a bunch about science. So he could potentially be in on the Doomsday Clock setting.
Yeah. So let's see. So 1991, it was 17, and then down to 14. And then in 1998...
Oh, they didn't update it for what? See, I'm seeing some gaps. They're not updating it every year.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we shouldn't update it this year then. Why are we doing back-to-back years?
So it looks like if it doesn't change, it doesn't update up until 2015.
Oh, okay.
Then they started updating it every year. But in 1998, which was around the time when... what were we talking about?
1998, that was She's All That. Remember the movie She's All That?
Yeah.
I think that was probably right around that era.
But what other movie were we just talking about?
The Bucket List.
The Bucket List. That was around the time when this was made. Morgan Freeman, a part of the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, he knew that it was going down. He saw that it was dipping down to 9 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So he created this movie,
The Bucket List,
to get us all prepared. So that way you live life to the fullest while you can.
Well, you can, yeah. That's all you can do.
So we have turned to friend of the show, WikiHow, to find out how to make a bucket list because I didn't watch the movie. Ty doesn't know what a bucket list is.
I've never seen it.
I didn't watch the movie. I'm just aware of the concept. It's a list that you make, and then it's things that you want to do before you kick the bucket.
Is that where the bucket comes from?
That's the bucket. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So first, you're going to want to brainstorm.
You're going to want to brainstorm. Now, this is suggesting that you stand in front of a coffee shop to do so. I don't know that that's requisite. You might just be able to do your brainstorming really wherever you feel like it. But again, WikiHow is best when it's followed, verbatim.
Mm-hmm. So you want to brainstorm. You want to go to a coffee shop that's also a weed dispensary. It looks like.
Okay. So those are going to be few and far between, especially if you don't live in like California or something. So you're going to have to do a little bit of traveling to do, go do your brainstorming
But you're going to have to do traveling to complete your bucket list.
Yeah.
So it's all the same.
Now we should probably point out that if this is cost prohibitive to you, then maybe just don't have a bucket list because you're going to need a lot of money to do all this stuff. So really, this is just for the people that are in the financial position to take time off and go do some traveling and spend a bunch of money. If you're not, then just I don't know, maybe stop watching now.
Yeah, but go and find this coffee shop that's also a weed shop. Then you want to choose goals that are meaningful to you, like being an astronaut.
Yeah, I'm playing with like a toy spaceship. This guy's got like a pretend astronaut helmet on. He's playing with a toy model spaceship.
Or maybe that's a real spaceship because it looks like he's in space. And he's been blown up.
That's true. That's true.
Gigantic size.
Courtesy of like SpaceX and all that, we can technically go into space now, right? Like, There's
Yeah, for sure. So, make sure it's things that you care about. Find a common thing.
And these pictures just aren't adding up because this is like a mother comforting a crying child, which I don't really I'm not really following the pictures, but find a common theme. So, like maybe your theme is baseball. You're going to want to go around to all the ballparks. You want to go meet Barry Bonds and shake his hand, get him to sign a ball for you. And you want to, get Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame. Disgraced baseball player Pete Rose has been permanently banned from the Hall of Fame.
You could do a baseball theme. You could do like a red theme where you want to
just do red stuff.
Do a bunch of red stuff. Yeah. So this picture of this lady consoling this crying child, it says one of the themes, if your happiest moments have been helping others, then choose a bucket list item like starting an after-school program for underprivileged
I'm gonna have to pop in and disagree with that because this is all about you. This is your bucket list. This isn't an underprivileged child's bucket list. They can't afford a bucket list. Okay, so I'm saying like go have a spa day or maybe take yourself to like a resort in Tahiti or some sort of Galapagos island or like a fancy island somewhere is more what I'm thinking as opposed to helping these underprivileged children.
Yeah, don't help the kids, help yourself. This is about you before you die.
Cast off expectations like
don't worry about other people judging you.
Or
not achieving certain items.
Yeah, if you don't finish your bucket list, it's fine because you're going to be dead.
Yeah, yeah.
So
who cares?
And I mean, in this case, there's not even going to be anybody left to judge you. So don't worry about that.
No.
Talk to others for inspiration. That's what you're kind of doing right now. We're giving you the ideas that you need for your bucket list, so you can kind of skip that step.
Yeah.
And
no.
Figure out who you should spend the most time with. I mean. Really, this is all about you, girl, so you're just probably going to want to do this alone, right? Like,
yeah, I think so. Then it says to write down all your ideas and then edit and organize your bucket list.
Host a television show and that hosting a YouTube show that gets 5K views. Is that like trying to like make your...
So you break big goals down into easy goals.
Yeah, we can tell you firsthand that it's not that easy to get 5K views on YouTube. We've been struggling to do that for years now. So maybe just, make a YouTube show and not worry about the viewership.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
That's what we do.
Then you want to group items up by time. You want to have spring activities, winter activities. Maybe you want to go snowboarding.
I mean,
You
how
can't
much
do that in the
time?
summer.
I mean, we're 90 seconds on the Doomsday Clock. I don't know that you have a full 4 seasons to get this done.
Well, no, you're traveling, so you can go. I mean, it's winter on one half of the Earth, and it's summer on the other half.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's
It's
how
not
it
like
works.
a time zone.
Yeah. So you go to certain places depending on what the weather's like. You want winter, you go up north to the pole. You want summer, you go to the hot place.
I mean, I guess climate-wise, you could do that.
Yeah. So these are all places that you have to travel to. And plus, I mean, put yourself into massive debt to do this bucket list. You're
absolutely,
going to be dead.
because the world's going to be over. Who
Get
cares?
all the debt you can.
You know, they're crossing one off the list, and I'm guessing this step is going to be like, like give up on your list. Your list probably isn't attainable, so just
remove unrealistic items.
Remove unrealistic items. That may very well be all of them.
Yeah.
If you
do it right, then yeah, it's all of them.
If you're a 50-year-old man with limited athletic experience, you're not going to be able to be a professional basketball player. Now, I disagree with that.
Says?
Who's to say that? Like
Yeah.
WikiHow, like that's. I think it's some 50-year-old guy writing this article who wanted to be a basketball player himself, and he's trying to project onto everybody else
You've never
his
seen
own
a movie
shortcomings.
ever? They've done this in a movie 100 times.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to say, go ahead and keep the professional basketball dream on there.
Oh, and now this agrees with us. You shouldn't remove an item just because it's expensive. Expensive goals can be achieved in creative ways.
Creative,
like
like
robbing,
getting into debt or
breaking in,
stealing.
getting into debt. Then you want to prioritize items. Things that you really want to do, you pop those up to the top.
Yeah, you do those first because, I mean, again, we never know when it's going to be catastrophe and it's going to be Armageddon.
Yeah, Armageddon. And then you also kind of want to rank them in severity because, I mean, if you're anything like us, there's going to be a lot of semi to majorly illegal things on your bucket list.
Oh, yeah. Most of mine's not going to be technically allowed under current American law.
So you're going to want to rank these in a level to where you can get pretty deep before you get caught.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to start off with something crazy.
Yeah.
Then you want to review it frequently, learn it like the back of your hand.
Yeah, you really shouldn't even need to write this down, to be honest. It should just be in your head.
Then you want to share your list.
Now, this guy has a public bucket list that he's sharing, and then he has a private bucket list that he's not sharing.
What's that about?
So, yeah, you can only imagine what's on the private list is probably a little bit seedy, a little, clearly something he doesn't want the rest of the world knowing. So, that's perfectly fine if you have some, carnal desires that perhaps are considered unspeakable. Don't share them. We don't want to know. But, just...
2 lists is great.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Then you want to share the public items on your list with others, get feedback. Maybe these people might be able to help you. You need to put it out in the world. You need to be like, man, I really wish that I could, I got a bucket list and on it is driving a...
You could probably guilt some people into helping you just by constantly mentioning it, being like, yeah, that's real high on my bucket list.
Maybe you say, man, I want to ride a motorcycle. I want to drive a motorcycle. And they're like, and they have a motorcycle.
Yeah. And even if something's not on your bucket list, you could use that as a technique to get people to give you what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could say, if you see like they have a hot dog or something,
just be like, man,
yeah, actually on my bucket list here, because your bucket list, it's going to be digital. It's going to be on your phone. You're not going to write a physical list.
I mean, they're saying to
they
use
are,
a
but this
notebook.
is WikiHow. They're in the past. Now it's going to be in your notepad, and you can go in there, hammer out hot dog real quick, add it in there, and then you go, look, that's actually on my bucket list. Coincidentally, you have one that you haven't bitten into yet. And they'll give it to you. So you want
that glizzy.
Yeah, you want to use it to manipulate others. Find others that are working on their bucket list. Because, Morgan Freeman, he had another guy in the bucket list. It was 2 guys. Another old actor.
See, I feel like working together with somebody is going to be counterproductive in the sense that, like, you want to make your stuff the main focus. You don't want to have to be off doing Jack Nicholson's, like whatever is on his list. Let him figure that out. I mean, if they happen to coincide on some of the items, like, sure, I guess you can do it. You can partner up. But for the most part, this is about you, not Jack Nicholson, not anybody else.
And a bucket list is going to be long already. So 2 bucket lists is kind of too much stuff.
Yeah.
And the Doomsday Clock is ticking.
It's 90 seconds. By the time you're listening to this, it's very possible that it's down to 85 seconds.
We could put it in post. We could be like, and we could clip it. We could be like, so now we're even closer.
Could be 60 seconds to midnight.
Because it might not be closer. It could be farther away.
No, it's not going to be farther.
The apocalypse is right around the corner because we are to midnight. And then we'll put that in.
Perfect.
We'll do that. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna not want to team up with people that are doing their bucket list.
Yeah, let them figure it out themselves.
Oh yeah, check out the bucket list of other people. You could steal their ideas.
Yeah.
If other people have cool shit on their bucket list.
Yeah, and a lot of these ideas might be something to where only one person would possibly be able to do something, like being the first to do something or something like that.
Yeah.
So, steal these ideas from others and then get to them before, beat them to the punch, as they say.
Mm-hmm. So, we wanted to give you guys some ideas that you could steal from us to put on your bucket list. So, first one, host a YouTube show that gets 5K views.
Yeah. Another is get Pete Rose into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. He was banned for life for placing bets while he was a manager, not even an active player.
Oh.
And he's widely considered one of the greatest baseball players of all time. And people, typically the public, for the most part, public consensus is that Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame, but the Major League Baseball is just cock-blocking him, keeping him out. So I think, you might have to do, like we said, this isn't all going to be illegal. You might have to do some finessing. You might have to get a gun involved, but get Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame.
Get him in there. Also, you could buy more sweaters.
Yeah.
Different types of sweaters. And
different types of sweaters.
Different cuts and colors and stuff. You can just buy more sweaters.
You can get a cardigan. You can get cashmere. Cashmere sweaters are very nice. Those are quality sweaters.
Mm-hmm. You could also start watching like Friends.
Binge watch Friends. I don't think that's going to be too high on anyone's bucket list.
No, yeah, that isn't very cool.
No, I mean, maybe there's a concert that you want to see. Maybe it's like you want to see Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift's not coming to your city anytime soon. So this is another instance where you might have to get a gun involved, and you might have to make some threats to pull the strings to get Taylor Swift to your local venue. But I mean, again, it's almost Armageddon. Yeah. You have very little worry of the consequences.
Yeah. And a gun involved is going to open up the range.
I mean, I don't know exactly how you would get Taylor Swift to your city to perform through the use of a gun. I mean, it's probably going to take a lot of finessing, but
no, I think
that's for you to decide and figure out.
No, while you're traveling, because you're doing a lot of traveling for this bucket list, you go to where she is. You break in.
Kidnapping, just good old-fashioned kidnapping is going to be the easiest route,
You don't even have to kidnap her. You have to hold her hostage. You break in, you boom, shoot the security guys. Which it's not going to be a lot. It's not going to be the Secret Service. It's going to be a couple guys.
I mean, it's Taylor Swift. You're probably looking at
10 guys.
10 guys, yeah, that sounds plausible.
Not anywhere close to the villains in John Wick,
Yeah, no, you're not looking at a John Wick situation.
No, these are going to be guys that work at Walgreens, like that kind of guy.
Yeah, you're not battling the entire Yakuza.
No, and you boom, shoot. You're akimbo, right? 2 guns. If you can afford it, which you should, because spare all expense. Akimbo, boom. You get in there, you find Taylor Swift. She's in her bedroom, right? You go in there, you tell her, perform now, an acoustic set, give her a acoustic guitar. She play guitar?
I think so.
Yeah, give her an acoustic guitar, say, do an acoustic set for me. 1 hour and 45 minutes.
But see, that's not going to work because you could potentially be wanting the entire Eras tour package, and that's going to include, dozens of backup dancers and singers and crazy lighting and probably a lot of pyrotechnics, that's gonna, all have to come with you. So
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
while you're traveling, you could, copy and paste, do that along the way. Find all the dancers, stop at their houses in Vegas. Boom, bang, bang, bang. There's going to be way less guys that you got to shoot there.
there's gonna be a lot of collateral damage regardless throughout this thing.
But you get them, you say, come with me. You gather them up. You get like a bus, rent a big bus.
Yep.
Get them all on there.
I mean, there's also gonna need to be like trucks, like 18-wheeler trucks that carry all the equipment and the stage setup and all that.
And then, but you just pay for those guys.
Yeah,
hire
you probably
those
could,
guys.
yeah.
You could rent all that
I
equipment.
mean, it's probably
I'm sure.
easier to pay than it is to kidnap, an extra 100 people.
And then if you have to kidnap a bunch of truckers, and then they're going to make a convoy, they're going to team up.
Yeah.
They could talk to each other on the CB radio on a
you don't
private
want that.
channel.
You don't want that.
So yeah.
Yeah, so
You can make it happen.
You can make it happen.
You can make anything happen.
Let's get Pete Rose in that Hall of Fame, and let's have a good day.
And sound off and let us know what's on your bucket list.
What's on your bucket list, and what do you think about this fucking Doomsday Clock? Is it just a hoax? Let us know.
And the third person to leave a comment of the current time of the Doomsday Clock will get a an emoji sent from us.
Yeah, sure.
Like a certain emoji. It's
Special emoji.
Special emoji sent to you in a reply on that comment. And we love you. And we'll see you next week.
Natural Habitat Recordings.